Phil never remembers this, but like the first time I ever played with Phil Hellmuth, right? This was 1997 in a limit hold'em event, right? And I knew I was a really good. Like I was at between 96 and 90. Well, however, I was like top 3, top 4 limit hold'em players in the world, and so. The first time I played with Phil Hellmuth, like Phil raises, he doesn't even remember this hand, but I always like to bring it up to him. He raises, like I re-raise, I had ace queen, And you remember back then, raise, re-raise in limit poker, it's like people have hands. There wasn't people like 3-betting 5. I mean, the good players were, but not many people. I re-raise my ace queen, right? Anyways, he calls. Flop comes like ace, blank, and he check raises me and I call. Then he bets and I raise him on the turn. He calls and he bets then he checks and I bet the river and he calls. And I'm like, this guy's supposed to be the best in the world. He just pays me off with ace 8 after I 3-bet him pre and raise his ass on the turn. I'm gonna fuck this guy up, right? And so he never remembered this hand, but I remember it because you always remember the first hand you play against people that are named players. You know what I'm saying? And so that was the first time I really said to myself, I'm a lot better than I think I am. And, then, one thing led to another. And then I got so bored of winning at Limit Hold'em was like, I just won every day.
It's too easy.
I was so much better than everybody else. It's like, even when I ran as bad as you could run, I would like break even for the day because I would steal so many pots because people were weak back then. It was just like if they didn't have top pair and you raised their ass on the fucking turn, they would just fold. Flush card hits and you raise, they would fold. I mean, I don't want you to be jealous here, Doug, but poker was fun back then when you could just run people over, And even though people say, Mike Matusow is so tight now, yeah, but up until 2006, I was the most aggressive, feared poker player in the world. Like I was so aggressive. Like, and Phil will tell you, he feared me more than anybody. You know what I'm saying? But you have to, but that also helped me in 2007, 2008, make 4 WPT final tables because everybody thought I was just lunatic, Mike. So I realized that once Card Runner started teaching bet sizing and stuff like that, because that's where I was able to steal from people, like the way people threw their chips in. If they threw it in like a certain way, they had like aces, kings. If they threw it in another way, they were weak. And so that's how you picked up on weakness. So once they taught bet sizing, poker got a little bit tough. And so then I became Mike the Nit for 07 and 08. And I just kept getting paid off just being a nit. And then they realized Mike's a tight nit now. And then 09 was a disaster because nobody would pay me off. I couldn't. And so then I had it. It took me, and then I had the ultimate bet scandal where they stole millions from me. So that took away my ability to pull the trigger, and it took me, took me a good 4 years after that. Table draw is 80% of fucking tournament poker. Like when I won the 02 Omaha 8 title, right? There was one table that had 3 idiots at it, right? With 3 tables to go. I'm like, please give me that table. Please give me that table, right? And fucking I drew that table. I was like, yes. And I went to the final table second in chips, right? So like, if you don't think table draw is everything, I mean, it's so
table draw's huge, obviously. Huge.
But like I went through like a 3-4 year period in tournament poker with like 3 tables to go and they redraw and I drew 7 of the best players. I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? And I'd look over at that table and there would be like 6 idiots and 1 good player. And of course the 1 good player either won the tournament or finished top 3. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, table draw is fucking pretty important in tournament poker. And then there's the story I like to tell, the greatest one, the one that really. So we all played 4-8, and sometimes there was a 1,000, 2,000 game that went. That was with Doyle, Chip, Eli, maybe David Oppenheim. There was like 4 or 5 of them, right? But most of the time it was like 4 and 800. Sometimes we played 8 and 1,600. Anyways, the one weekend I leave the town. I left town. I had to go to Reno, and that was the week that Andy Beal came to town, and they were playing 10, 20,000 limit hold'em, and everybody put their money together.
Corporation,
right? So that's the only weekend I leave town. Everybody put their own money up, right? The next thing you know, I come back, everybody's playing 4,000, 8,000, and I'm playing. I can't barely get a 4-800 game to get together, and this is something I always like to bring up because it's so funny. So Doug Dalton, who ran the Bellagio poker room for a lot of years, right? So I come back and we're playing 400, 800, and I order a Fiji water, right? And they go, that'll be $5. I go, why $5? I don't pay for Fiji. He goes, unless you play in that big game over there, you have to pay $5 for fuck Fiji. And I go, fuck you. I said, I play with these motherfuckers every day for the last 6 fucking years. I leave town for 1 week. You want to charge me $5? It was principle. And then I didn't walk into Bellagio for the next like 4 years.
What year was that?
That was 2000 and probably 2005.
Oh, okay. Because I turned 21 at what year was it now? I can't remember.
A long time ago, Doug. A long time
09. Ago. and they were free at that point. So I mean,
yeah. So that was that was 05 to about 09. Because that's how I was playing online at full tilt. I just didn't give a fuck anymore. I never went in the Bellagio again. And people will laugh at me like, why do you act like that over a fight? I go, because it's a principle. What? I could give a fuck about the $5. So Chow, who was playing with me, Chow would get me free water because he played in the big game. I owed $783,000 pre-COVID, and that number is around 160 now. So,
dude, good job, man.
That's
well done.
That's I listen. I could keep it quiet, or I could be honest. I made some mistakes. I made a couple of horrible mistakes, especially right after my surgery. I needed to get back on my feet, and I tried to win money too fast. I got in the biggest games. I wanted to just win this money and pay this person back so badly because I wasn't the type of person that borrowed. And I made mistakes and I fucked everything up, and but it made me a better person, Doug. It did, because when you make a mistake, somebody's a good-hearted person like me, and I get emotional when I talk like this because I know I'm a good person. You know what I'm saying? And we talk about people who make mistakes, and I made a really big mistake, and it was the worst mistake I'd ever made, and luckily we were able to kind of like get past it, and person knows he's getting his money back now, but it's it made me a better person. I quit betting sports 4 years ago. I quit just saying, oh, there's a 400, 800 game, jump in it. It's like this is how much I want to risk in my bankroll every day, put myself in a good spot, make sure you get your bills paid, and just be smart. And the old Mike would be like, I'm the greatest, get me in the biggest game. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not in a rush to have 10 million again. I'm in a rush to make my debts good, which is very few now, and to live a life where, I say it straight out, let me be debt free with 2 million cash, and I'll be set for life. I know that it sounds like much, but in the real world, you can live a pretty darn good life with a couple $1 million cash.
You've come a long way. You've had a lot of things you've overcome, and
nothing was the journey. The injury I had. I mean, nobody in the world understands what I've gone through the last 7 years. It's like, just imagine the worst thing imaginable and times it by 100, and that's what I dealt with from 2014 to 2019. So, it's somebody. It's really weird when you're somebody that never done a hard day's work, and you just sit and play poker your whole life, and you wake up one day and you're almost paralyzed. And now all of a sudden you live life in chronic fucking pain. I'm not going to lie. I'm a fucking pussy. Okay. I hate fucking pain, So for 4 years, I fucking played the victim, man. Why me? Why me? There's no God. God wouldn't do this to me. Why me? Why me? Why? You know what I'm saying? And the day I quit playing the victim, and the day I got my belief in God back, that's when everything changed. You know what I'm saying? And in life, you cannot play the victim. There's the victim mentality will fucking put you in the gutter. Okay. Winners win, victims cry. You know what I'm saying? If you're the victor and you play the victor, you're going to fucking win, and you're going to be victorious, and you're going to be good in life. If you want to say, oh, I don't have that because I'm this, or my boo-hoo me, or boo-hoo this, you're not going to get anywhere in life, So, that's why again, I don't want to be political here or anything, but that's, one side tries to play victim mentality. And I'm just so against that because my father taught me, he's like, you know, he goes, Mike, I don't care what you do in life. If you work fucking hard at it, you're going to make a lot of money and be successful. And I believe that. And to this day, I believe it. Name one person that you know that doesn't work hard in life that's a loser. You see what I'm saying?
One person that doesn't work hard in life that's a loser.
How many people? Yeah. In other words, like you, do you know somebody? Do you know anybody that works hard that's not successful? No.
Well, it's misleading because I basically all of my peer groups are sort of pre-qualified to be smart, successful people.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be different if I'm sure if I worked a median job in America, I would know plenty of hard workers that are not very successful. Okay. So it's sort of a rigged question.
People would think I'm crazy, you know, but I had a dream that Scotty won the World Series. I staked him. He won the World Series. Okay. I literally had a fucking dream 3 months before NBC Head Up in 2013 that I was going to win NBC Head Up. And I wasn't even going to play it because Head Up, I mean, I'm a good head. I'm not a great head up player. I'm a good head up. I mean,
why do you say head up? It's just you. You're the only guy that does this. Why do you say head up?
Heads up.
Yeah. Why do you say head up?
I don't know. I just
at this point, you got to write it out, Mike. It's too signature. You're the guy that says head up. But why? Is there a reason you say that?
No, I don't even realize I'm saying it. It's heads up, but for some reason I say head up. I don't know.
Say
why.
Head up. Yeah.
Okay. So like, and you call Dustin. He'll tell my trainer about this. He'll tell you the whole story. So I called Dustin on the phone. I'm like, I gotta fucking get in shape. I'm like, why? I had this dream. I won the NBC fucking Head Up. I gotta get myself mentally prepared for this tournament. I go. I'm not really a heads up player. See, you got me there. I got a heads up player. And I said, but I know I know this dream was reality, right? So I go and I play it, and I win it. But here's the point: is we're talking about deals. So I'm heads up with Phil, and Phil's like, so first was 750, and second was 250, right? Or 350, 250 or 350, 750 to 250, a big number, right? Phil's like, let's save 100,000. I said, no, right? He goes, why not? I mean, we're good friends. Blah, blah, blah. Look at that. There's a 500,000 difference. I go, because I had a dream I won this fucking tournament. You can't fucking win, Phil, right? He's like, that's not true. Da, 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 da. Yeah. And Phil's my good friend. I'm like, okay, Phil, we'll save 100,000. Right. So we save 100,000. So I got 100,000 less, you know, but I knew I was going to win. It's like I felt like I was giving Phil 100,000. You know what I'm saying?
Did you really know you're going to win though? Your dream doesn't really affect the result.
It really was. I did.